All right, good morning, everybody. Good Monday morning. All right, so we do have news at 10. You see here on AlphaWebTrader, ISM Manufacturing at 10 a.m. Trends are down. Market broke out to the downside last evening when it opened. Your Dow looks like the weaker market, NQ the stronger in both your Session FibGrid here and also your Trend Strength Index. Bias for the gap is going to be to the long side here. It looks like, even though the trends are down. So potential for the gap to fill, which would be a move higher, in which case at this point, probably if NQ remains the stronger market, long the stronger market, market may not fill the gap. It's not 100% probability. So if markets do drop, maybe focusing on the YM. If those, that remains weak after the market opens. So make sure you're checking your Session FibGrid and your Trend Strength. All right, just about a minute before the market opens, and we'll take a look once we get the market open and see what looks strong, what looks weak, and go from there. All right, markets are open here. Let me just pull this in here. Everything's still more negative than positive. Your Dow and your S&P have firmed up. Right now the Russell's the weak one. I'm going to turn the Russell on to the short side here.
Order pending.
So just putting the target just inside the first FibGrid support here.
Order filled.
All right. So you should have contracts off, and we'll see if we can get the stop to move down. If we can take this support out here, then your next FibGrid support down here around 1853. Going to need the ES to come down. Obviously would help if the Dow, if everything came down together, that would be great. Getting your NASDAQ starting to move down. It's sitting at its support here. It's going to need to take that out. S&P is at its first little fib support here. Dow is just starting to move down to its lower end of its breakout zone. Got your stop on Russell coming down. If we can get down, you can use 1853 is also can be a target, obviously, if you want to take profit on that. Remember, the bias is still to the long side as far as the gap goes. So, they could come back up and fill the gaps. So, anyway, stop is at break even. The automated stop is at break even on the last contract now. So can't lose on the last one. And just see if this gets more follow through or if you're going to take profit down here. You're going to need to see the S&P come down. And if you get the S&P down here on that 40.88, test that support, that'll help us get some more follow through. But remember, the bias, like I said, the gap bias is still to the long side. So don't know how much follow through they're going to give us to the downside here. Anyway, that was the play at the open. Russell was the weakest market, and and we'll just see where it goes from here. All right, guys, I moved the target down on the Russell. It's still weak. I'm sorry, I moved the target up on the last contract. If we can get down to this fib grid at 1853, your S&P here is really kind of stuck where we opened. Dow is stuck in a range. NASDAQ is. And like I said, that the closer we get heading into 10 o'clock, we can get sentiment change. And, so we're either going to stop at break even or we get this profit target. I'm hoping we can come down and at least tag that. But anyway, we can't lose anyway. That's always a good position to be in. All right, guys. So just stopped on the last on a trail, just a little better than break even. I forgot I had the trendometer on these, but you could be long NQ, ES as well. Those were the two stronger markets as the market shaped up, and shut that off, and pretty close to filling the gap there in MNQ. So if you are long that, just make sure you get your contracts off, just before the gap fills there. Your S&P, you've got room to move. You got 41.23, and then above that, you got your gap fill around 41.32. The Dow ended up being a little. Let me see where we're at with the Dow. Dow is kind of in the middle in terms of strength. It's not the weakest. It's not the strongest. So probably not the best option to go either long or short. If the S&P fills its gap, then it should pull the Dow up with it. So that's the thing. I probably could have. We took some on the short there, but could have also taken the long there because, like I said, the gap bias was long. But anyway, it just depends on how you played it. Either way, you'd be in good shape here.